Oh, talking about killing our citizens. So another thing that happened that we didn't talk about is killing our citizens. So we had an instance where a government agent opened fire and shot a lady and
Shot a
killed her.
lady.
Okay,
Oh.
and there's a lot of opinions there. Okay,
Mhm.
we we had we had a lady with us in one of our other sessions. She's law enforcement,
Mhm.
right? And
What'd she say?
oh, her take was is that in that situation she'd have done the same thing.
A lot of people would have did the same
I
thing.
mean, I have a heavy amount of firearms training, and I've trained with law enforcement, and yeah, I would mean okay, so okay, so what is law enforcement's objective? Like when if you if
Hold the law.
no, if you put on a vest in the morning, strapped on a gun, put on
Uh,
and put on a badge, what is your main objective in that day?
get back home.
Exactly. It's a job.
Right.
Okay? You're not some martyr trying to give your life. Okay? That's not their job. Their job is not to give their life for you. Okay? Their job is to uphold the law and but most importantly, come home to their families.
Hmm.
Okay? The whole thing, be safe out there. That's goal number one. Goal number one is to come home. Okay? Anytime that there's a threat to goal number one, you have to mitigate that threat. So when somebody's in a vehicle and they are trying to get away, that vehicle, they may not be trying to kill you, but turn the wrong direction and they could.
Right.
Okay. It's not like you're standing 15 feet away from the car, right? That dude was standing arm's length. I mean, he can touch me. In fact, he did, the car touched him. I mean, like,
Yeah.
he can make contact with the car just holding his hand out, right?
Right.
That is too close for comfort. Okay. That car can easily turn left and reverse and take him out, right?
Mhm.
It could easily do a tight right and it could fishtail around and take him out, right? A lot of things could happen. It could miss him entirely, okay? But if it's a 50% chance that thing's going to take you out, well, you got to protect yourself, okay? So yeah, um, I would have done it too.
Yeah. I mean, but I think, and it's just, I think it all boils down to Trump. It boils down to Trump, and then also like because they just showed like a expose. They had an expose where they showed the ICE coverage back in the Obama term
Mm-hmm.
compared to the ICE coverage now, and it was totally different. You know what I'm saying? They painted the ICE agents in a positive light. Even they arrested somebody wrong, like they wrongfully arrested somebody, and it was like, oh, this is a part of the job. We never
Yeah.
heard about ICE during the Obama administration. He did way more deporting in his administration, right? When we get to Trump, where everybody hates everything that Trump
Mm-hmm.
does, all he's doing is deporting illegal immigrants. They're illegal immigrants. It's not
Well,
like
I
they're
mean, he's enforcing the laws that are already there. Is what he's doing.
enforcing the laws is already there. They're
Laws have
treating,
been ignored, right?
and they're then the and I shame the governments of these local governments, like people, especially the people who call them like domestic terrorists. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think a lot, and honestly, especially in like Minnesota, and even here, because they said they coming here next.
Well, I
There's a
mean,
lot of fraud in these
the
places.
only terror that they're sowing
Hmm.
is happening. If you're terrified of them, you've probably done something wrong.
Right.
I mean, I'm not terrified of ice. I'm brown.
Oh.
I mean, beyond being so, that's the funny part. Like, I could easily be targeted for an enforcement action. 'Cause, I mean, I can be foreign, right?
Right.
I'm not a white. I mean, like, but the same thing. I mean, like, I feel that for these guys, for law enforcement, it's difficult to enforce laws. I mean, think about it. And it's unfortunate, but if you can't ask people to show you credentials, there could be somebody right in front of you breaking the law that you can't touch,
Right.
right? If that guy has to break an actual law before you can make him show you ID, I don't agree with that,
No.
right?
And that's what we've came to in some of these liberal areas.
Yeah. So is he going to ask me for ID because I look foreign? Am I going to get profiled? Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
And I'll show it to him. Right. So I for years, I mean, and you two have seen it in that gigantic wallet I have. I've always carried a passport, way before that happened. Right. My
Mm-hmm.
passport's on me 24/7 when I'm outside the house,
Mm-hmm.
and not because of ICE. Okay, because I may need it for something. I mean, I may need to prove my citizenship for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have it on me in case I have to board a plane international last minute. That's why I have it.
Right.
Okay, so I carry my passport, and if somebody asks me for it, I show it to them.
Right.
Okay, I don't do this. I don't give them a hassle, and that's the other thing. So back to the Minnesota case. Our law enforcement friend on the meeting we were talking about it. It's like those people were there to disrupt law. They were there to obstruct law enforcement. That was their goal.
Yeah. That was their goal.
They traveled from a different place to be there to be disruptive.
And they were caught on camera.
Yeah. In fact, she said, we'll be back. Remember this plate. It's like they were there to be a pain in the ass. I mean, like they were there to get in their way. Okay. They were there. I mean, are you allowed to obstruct law enforcement? No,
They
that's
wouldn't
a
have did
crime.
that with the FBI. They wouldn't have did that with the police department. They wouldn't even did that with the fire department. What makes you think you can do that with immigration?
Yeah, it's a crime.
It's a crime. I don't know where people just think that this is not a federal agency. I don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah. I mean, you can be a protest. I mean, like, okay, so you can be a protester with a picket or whatever on a sidewalk with a permit, but you can't get in their way.
It was dead ass in their way in the snow.
Yeah, ridiculous. I mean,
I don't know. I feel like people feel like Donald Trump created ICE. I really
know,
feel
right?
that.
Weird, right?
Like, I think you had said something like in one of the video clips I edited, you have brought up Born in East LA.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Where he was like, I'm born in East LA. I ain't never seen that movie.
You got to watch it, man.
Yeah, I only seen the commercials. But when I was editing it, I came across that scene where the immigration came through and busted down everybody.
Yep.
Took all the labor force. And I was like, I don't understand why people think that this is something new.
It's been around the left. I mean, they no longer scream La Migra. Now they scream ICE, right?
Reminds.
And that's the thing. I mean, like, okay, so let's real quick for those. So people have been talking about ICE for the past year, right? All these
Right.
actually for a while now. So let's. So Quentin, I know that you know what it is. Raymond, do you know what ICE stands for?
Immigration enforcement.
The E is, yeah. So I is immigration, E is enforcement. But you don't realize ICE does more than immigration. They really do two things. I mean, ICE is all about things that come into this country.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which includes people, right? But the other part of it is, so what else do you smuggle into the U.S.?
Contraband.
Yeah, or not just contraband, but okay, so yeah, technically contraband. ICE stands for Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
So if you try to smuggle a car here without paying duties, right, that's what it's for. You're bringing too much cash.
Yep.
That's ICE that's coming after you.
You didn't pay your tariffs on this.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
ICE that's doing that,
Yep.
right? You smuggled some art into the country. That's ICE,
Mm-hmm.
right? Immigration and Customs Enforcement. That's what they are. Okay, they're the real thing. And it's been going. I mean, they've been doing their job forever.
Right.
Okay, and I don't see why they wouldn't be allowed to do their job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you're here illegally, you shouldn't be, and you should expect them to do their job. Okay? And what's crazy is this: so when you see these radical protesters, okay. Who are they? For the most part.
White liberal women.
Exactly. Okay,
They're the Karens.
real immigrants.
Karens.
People like it. I'm an immigrant, so I wasn't born here, right? I came here, right? I immigrated with my parents. Real immigrants, we want the laws enforced. You'll never find somebody who's more adamant about coming here the right way than somebody who came here the right way.
Yep, that's true. I've seen a lot of people who came here the right way
Mm-hmm.
that hate this
Yeah.
whole
Everyone
from
that
the
I know who immigrated properly wants the rules enforced hard. We want the draconian version of the enforcement of these rules.
yeah, because
Because
you have to go through a lot.
yeah, we have to jump your hoops. You apply, you pay, you wait, you pay again, you wait. You do, I mean, like, we really had to go through a bunch of hoops. We had to, and in fact, we had to prove that we had something of worth to provide this country to come here.
Right.
Okay? That's how it's always been. That's how it should be. You can't just come here, right? And even the asylum stuff, right? He's been trying to send people back. So Trump has been trying to send people back, claiming that the instances that triggered their qualification for asylum is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So if the country that you left for asylum here, if everything's gone back to normal, well, you don't need asylum anymore. You should be going back.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, immigration was created to make a country better. Like, for example, you can't get a work permit in France unless you can prove that there's nobody there that can do the work that you can do.
Mm.
You have to be eminently qualified, more qualified than a local to be able to do it there. That's the way it works in France.
I feel it. I rock with that. That's
Yeah.
cool.
So we want quality immigrants.
Yep.
We
Not about to just come and take all our jobs.
yeah. Well, like what Cuba did. Remember, okay, here's the funny part. Cuba, in the early '80s, late '70s, early '80s, America was actively taking Cuban refugees. Right? It's because we've had beef with Cuba forever. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this. America acquired Cuba from the Spanish during the Spanish-American War. We acquired Cuba, the Philippines. What else? Cuba, the Philippines, Puerto Rico, and Guam. We got those four island nations. And we helped to set up a Cuban government that was ousted by the revolutionaries, Castro, right? And so we've been sparring Cuba for a long time. Okay, so America was accepting Cuban refugees for quite a while. Okay, so what did Cuba do? This is a brilliant chess move on Castro's part. I got to admit that. What did Castro do?
He deported everybody.
No, Castro expunged all the contents of Cuba's jails.
Yeah.
And sent them here as refugees.
Yeah, in the Mario boat lift.
This gigantic wave of criminals came to our shores.
He said he flushed the toilets of Cuba upon America.
Yep. I think that's a brilliant move. I mean, that was awesome.
Okay. He called them Escoria. That's freaking crazy.
Yeah, if you want to see a really good fictionalized version of that, watch Scarface.
Yeah, or watch Cocaine Cowboys. It talks about it.
Agree with that too.
That's like, and that's why I feel like most people are like, they're not hip to history. Because if you just watch what happened in the Mario boat lift, the crime rate doubled when that happened. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't see things like kind of getting worse with what, like, I'll say it like this. It's not that our crime rate is like worse or anything like that, but definitely the welfare system doubled.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It doubled so much where like now they cutting stuff. And we have fraud. Like I know it's fraud in California. I know. If they talked about Minnesota having fraud, I know it's fraud in California.